drag him out here. So I'm so glad that you made it. Hey, we're actually documenting this. Can somebody bring the cameras in here, please?
Oh no.
Okay. So
Yeah.
for those of us who have just seen your pictures and don't really know who Yaw Pare is, you probably want to just summarize and tell us who Yaw Pare it really is.
Wow. Once again, thanks, Dorian, for having me.
It's a pleasure.
Yaw Pare is a photographer and also a businessman. Um, uh, Basically, I went to school at Martin de Porres,
Mm-hmm.
my prep school, then continued to Presec, which after I left for the States and had this long hiatus for about 16 years and came back to Ghana in 2010.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then
So,
when you came to
mhm.
Ghana, what did you want to do? What were you into? What was your main plan when you came back?
Okay. So I've always had this dream about everywhere you go, you try to be the person that brightens the space that you are in.
Brighten the
Okay.
corner where you are.
Exactly.
Nice one.
So, but it didn't start that way. I came back to Ghana and I was like, oh, wow. It wasn't something easy to start with.
Right.
But then I decided that, okay, what are the things that are not going right? What can I do with that to make a difference? I saw photography as something that probably was definitely undermined. You know, if you look at how people travel, it's because of what they see,
Right.
and how things are brought to them and presented to them. We haven't been able to do that in the highest level. So at that time, I felt like, man, this is a huge opportunity that we're not seeing.
Right.
If 1,000 people are traveling per what they saw,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and 1,000 people are not traveling for because of what they see, that should tell you that there's a kind of media warfare going on that is not being paid attention to.
Right.
I'll go back to 2006 when my dad called me when I was in the States and said, hey, yeah, there's this property here you need to look at, and it's a good deal. You should buy it. Okay. I had a lot of money to have taken that land.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing I did was going to Google
Mm-hmm.
and research Ghana. 'Cause
Because you wanted to find where the land was.
yeah, and all I saw was, man, disaster, flooding, nothing to write home about. I didn't do that investment, and it was because of what I saw, but it was portrayed the wrong way.
That's right.
So imagine if I had seen it a little better, I would have jumped in
That's
and
true.
done something.
That's true.
So part of the reason is to change how we see things and how we, even who live here, get to appreciate what we have.
Right.
I always have this hashtag that says, we don't know what we have. Know what you have, and then that gives you some sense of pride to protect, to value, and to appreciate it.
Right.
So, that in a nutshell is
Who
what I
you
started
are
to
as
do.
a photographer.
Yeah.
All right. You were talking about being out there for 16 years. In those 16 years, did photography ever show up? Was this something that you did, or you started doing photography when you came to Ghana?
I never really touched the camera for photography
Oh
as a
gosh.
profession till
Did
I
you do
got
it for
here.
hobby?
It wasn't anything that was something like uh, I didn't even notice it if I did as a hobby.
Right.
It's just regular pictures, taking pictures of my family back then, and also what do you call it? Taking pictures of certain things I saw.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have any record in the U.S. as a photographer.
All right.
I was into other things there.
You went, oh,
Yeah.
okay. So when you came out here and you thought, okay, it's a good time for us to, take pictures and let the world see what we have. How did you start out? Did you just start it out as, oh, let me just take pictures and put them online, or let me just take pictures or look at it myself and share with my friends? How did it all start out for you?
Well, it started with my brother having a camera in in a room that was just left there. And I was
Dusty.
like, Nana, can I borrow your camera and try, taking some pictures? And he said, oh, why not? and it had this huge fungus in the lens. So if I was taking a picture of you, I have to look like on the other side to take a picture of you. But then people started to appreciate what I was putting up online. Okay. So to answer your question, it wasn't like I started to just put it out there. I was just trying to
Get
show
people aware.
Ghana, yeah, the way I saw it.
Right.
Okay. Then the questions started coming. Is this Ghana? Is this Ghana?
Right.
You know, I think due to our mundane lifestyles, we never really get a chance to travel or
Right.
even see where we pass through to go to work every day.
Right.
So when it's captured in stills, you get to look at it in a different way
Right.
and probably appreciate it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you
So-
started gradually putting your pictures out on social
Exactly.
media, and you called it what?
Random
Ghana pics.
Yes.
I'm sure that so
Yeah.
many people have seen your pictures, but because your name was not beneath that picture, people cannot just say, well,
Yeah.
this one belongs to Yaw Pare and all of that.
Exactly.
And then, that was when? 2010?
Around 2012, 2013.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
that's-
what was your main idea? Basically, you've put those pictures out there. People are seeing it. Now, a lot of people will come to you, Yao, and say, oh, can you come and take a picture of my wedding party or whatever projects I'm working with?
Yeah.
And did you, I mean, think about doing something major with those pictures rather than put out there and also just taking pictures with people for events, etc.?
Yeah. Well, it didn't start after putting the pictures and people inviting me to come take pictures of them. That
No.
wasn't the way it started.
No.
So I was just taking pictures and putting it out there. I really loved touring places. Everywhere I go, I'm a person that loves to see around wherever I am. And as I started to put the pictures out there, people started, man, this is beautiful. This is great. So I think it built more confidence in me taking pictures. So on occasions, like occasionally, it was basically, I'm self-taught.
Right.
So it was basically honing my craft by practicing.
Right.
I'll go to events that I wasn't invited.
And then you just go take pictures.
Then I got an opportunity from a lady called Carol Annan. Okay, at that time she was with the Graphic Times,
Right.
one of them.
Right.
So she said there was this event that is happening in the Groupon of the then the chief,
Over there.
yeah, that had just passed away. So I went there and took the pictures. Man, come and see comments like, wow. So then another occasion happened when a lady invited me to the house to do a shoot at the house. This lady is probably the reason why I went professional. So here I was trying to do other businesses, and man, nothing was going right. I mean,
But the photography was working.
well, at that time it was still a hobby because I wasn't really charging for it. 'Cause
Right.
I didn't even feel confident enough because I was still trying to get it right.
Right.
So, but this lady is like, the passion with which you take photographs, you should really concentrate on that. So then the business part switched in.
Right.
How do I really monetize this? I posted on Facebook for the first time, I think it was around 2016, that I'm going professional
Right.
with this. Wow. Floodgates open. It's like people were just waiting for me to say that, man,
This
it
is
was
it.
then job after job after job after job.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And so one job into another, into another, into
Yeah.
another. And now you have a book out. It's
Yes.
Remnant of a Haunted Past. I
Yes.
remember I was right there when the book was launched last in December. And I'll tell you the truth. I was awestruck because then the quality of the pictures were totally out of here. And I was like, God, is this really Ghana? That's also the kind of thing that a lot of people will also say about your pictures. And so I said, no matter what happens, I'm going to make sure that you come here and tell us all the story and how you got all that together. Because I guess Remnants of a Haunted Past talks about basically the forts and castles that we have forgotten about. We all talk about Cape Coast, Elmina, Christiansborg, and that's pretty much it. And then there are 20 something other forts. We're totally forgotten about it. So how did you come about just putting that whole idea together and saying, this is what I want to do?
Yeah. So there are two ways to look at preservation. One is if you have the money to preserve it, and one is if you don't really have the money to preserve it. What other way can you preserve it? And I felt photography was another way of preserving images or how things used to be. I think upon a couple tours in a span of 2-3 years in visiting these forts and castles, which I've done so many times, you could start to see the deterioration happening rapidly, to a point that sometime you went back and this place was quite okay, that you could walk in. Now the place is cracked. So it dawned on me, and I hadn't really seen any book out there that I would really say, this really is good, and it talks about the forts and castles of Ghana. Okay. So I took it upon myself, and I started capturing it from, I think, 2014 to probably, I think, between 2014 to 2019. So it's a long process, well, between 5 years.
About 5 years.
Yeah, but it was really done in a 2-year, if you compress it all, like a 2-year span, going back and forth when the weather was right, trying to get the right pictures and all that stuff.
Right.
So I decided, okay, there's a way I feel like I could preserve this. And I think I'll answer it up to this point, but there is more to be said about it.
Yeah, so I'll probably take you on to the next one that says, how did you find the forts and castles? Because then a lot of people won't go out of their way to say, okay, let me drive to X village to see if there's a castle there.
So if you look back to when this transatlantic slave trade happened, and you hear the stories of about 12 to 15 million people were moved out of these forts and castles to the diaspora, you beg the question, how many of these forts were there for this many number of people to have been transported out of this continent during those times? I mean, up until mid-80s, Ghana was just about 12 million or even less. So just imagine the population, back then. That was a huge number.
That was taken away.
Yeah, that was taken away. So I feel like there could be more than just those Sioux Castle, than Elmina and all the other ones. Come to find out through some research and gaining information from people that I went through with tours and stuff like that, it was close to about 100 forts and trading posts in Ghana alone. And I was like, wow, if I could find them all and put them together in one book, that would be great. Unfortunately, there were only about 22 that were left, that are left standing. With some are almost in total ruins, and left with bits and pieces, which I feel like there's so much that can be done with that. But that'll be the next question.
Definitely. We're talking some more. And if you just tuned in, we have in our studio a celebrated Ghanaian photographer, Yaw Pare. He's the author of Remnants of a Haunted Past. It's an amazing book on our historic heritage, and a book that hopes to reunite us to our brothers and sisters who were taken away from here. It's also supposed to educate us about some of the things that we've forgotten about, especially concerning our forts and castles. And like I mentioned before, you can go on Facebook, go to Random Ghana Pics, and you can see a lot of his pictures out there. You can also go to yawpareimages.com, and you can see loads of his pictures. We have some of his pictures, a lot of them concerning the launch of the book, Remnants of a Haunted Past. So we have some on our page as well. And of course, you're invited to send us questions if you have any for him. 055 11 11 997. We'll go on a quick break and come right back with some more with Yaw Pare right here in our studios in our chat box.
Something big is coming this season to Joy Prime. It's funny.
When you grow up, are you going to have a family? Yes.
And are you going to have children?
Yes.
How many children will you have?
20.
It's witty,
A stitch in time saves 9.
That means if you go back in time, you have to come home by 9 o'clock.
Kids say the darndest things.
it's for the family.
This is
Kids say the darndest things.
A person wearing red and black was not clapping.
It's Kids Say the Darndest Things, showing every Saturday from 6:30 p.m. and a catch-up show on Mondays, 4:30 p.m. Don't miss it.
Kids always say what they wanna.
How long have you had to dance in the rain? How many lemonades have you made out of those lemons thrown at you? Whatever you have been through in life, one thing still remains: change. Join me, Rosie Felly, on Changes every Wednesday and Friday as we impact lives and change the society.
What changes every Wednesday and Friday only on Joy Prime.
Joy Prime, the ultimate experience. Joy 99.7 FM.
This is Joy 99.7 FM. I'd like to have your attention for an announcement, please. Good news to all Ghanaians in Ghana and in the diaspora. Ghana's most dependable and real estate company, Fame Real Estate, is offering lands in communities with electricity, roads, and various amenities readily available. From now to 15th March 2022, we're offering a whopping 40% discount on all our lands in the Shire Hills community. Premium registered lands that cost 9,000 Ghana cedis is now 5,500 Ghana cedis. Rush now to take advantage of this all-exciting promo. We also have registered lands at Miocho, Pram Pram, Domi Pillar 2, Dawa, Doyumu, and East Airport. Call Fame Real Estate on 050-2959-324. That's 050-2959-324 or 055-41-56443. 055-41-56443. Or email sales@famerealtors.com. That's FAIM realtors.com. Sales@famerealtors.com. Fame, building legacies. End of the announcement.
The Cosmopolitan Mix.
You're welcome back into our chat box this morning on the Cosmopolitan Mix on 99.7 FM. Our chat box is a new feature we have in this month of February. We're talking to artists, photographers, musicians, all those amazing people who have done amazing things with their talents and doing new things each and every day. This morning we have a celebrated Ghanaian photographer. He's achieved international acclaim, recently even being featured in a world-famous travel magazine. He's been telling us about, well, a hobby sort of that has become more like a profession now. And he also mentioned about his new book, Remnants of a Haunted Past. It features forts and castles dotted all over our country, Ghana, that we've forgotten about. He's documented all of that into one book. And he also told us about the journey trying to put together Remnants of a Haunted Past. So right to Yaw Pare, our guest in the studio this morning. We were talking about how you put the pictures together, but how long did it take for you to get all those pictures and put them together?
Like I said earlier, it was a span between 2014 to 2019.
Right.
The 2019 pictures was basically things to top up to get it right for the book.
Right.
When it really came
Was
to
ready.
the front that I was really going to do it.
Yeah.
So just had to make sure.
Right.
Had to go back and do some other shots.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Putting the book together itself took probably a span of about 6 months back and forth with the publisher.
Right.
And also the professor who wrote the essay in the front of the book.
Oh, right.
Professor Rachel Engman.
Right.
Who did a fantastic job writing that essay, basically summarizing all the forts and castle story in the beginning.
Right.
Then it's a photo book.
Right, so
that's my lane. That's why.
That's where where your expertise lies. So
exactly.
And you went with that, and then she went with the script.
Exactly.
Right.
So then it follows with all the photos.
Right. Right.
That came.
Yeah.
That's
I
in the
also
book.
realized from the book that you have information too backing the pictures that you had, not just a simple caption, but a little piece about each castle or fort that you had. How did you come across all that information?
Well, in the book, so it's not all the pictures have an extensive or more of a write-up. It's basically the name and the date. We did that because some of the forts and castles, we don't keep history, unfortunately.
No,
in
we're
Ghana
bad
as
at
much.
documenting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So some of them didn't have that. So it's
Right.
basically the name and the year in which it was constructed.
Right.
And some of them had to be reconstructed. So even that with a struggle with the dates. But as we had them documented in some historical, online actually. That's where I got that information. Yeah.
Let me ask a quick question. It was did you actually try to go to maybe Ghanaian the archives, the office, to see if you could get any information whatsoever?
No.
Okay. All right. I mean, no, it's simple. I mean, if you went there and they said they didn't have it, that's fine. And if you didn't go, that's fine too, because then you didn't know what you were going to expect.
Exactly.
You know what to expect out there. So it's all right. It's all right.
So it took a span of about 6 months putting it together with the publishers. There was a lot of emailing back and forth. Had to get some the layout right. I mean, there was a lot of pictures, but only a few were selected.
Exactly, because I'm sure all of them were really good too.
I tell you, and it was like over 600, and it was being so hard to choose some of the pictures that we wanted to be in the book.
Right.
But yeah, that was the span in which it took after the years of travel to capture them.
Right.
Yeah.
And how many pages?
It's about 181 pages.
181,
Yes.
and it's a hard
It's
cover.
a
Hard
hardcover.
cover. Wow.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about the period prior to the launch. What was your expectation? What were you hoping would happen that the book is out? What's going to happen from here? What were your thoughts then?
My thoughts, as with almost everything, I'm a very positive person.
It's great to be positive.
Yeah, I approach everything like it's already done, and I wasn't disappointed at all with what happened. We sold out the first books that came in for the launch within 3 days.
Fantastic.
And there was like this long wait for the next ones
to come out,
which just came, and also that one is. I mean, I'm just grateful. It's been moving like you won't believe. Yeah. And we had about another 10,000, close to 10,000 shipped to the United States.
Right.
A certain portion of that also is going to be shipped, not of that one, but of the bulk is going to be shipped to the UK in the coming month.
Right.
We have enough stock here in Ghana as well.
Yeah. So I'm sure people would just like to find out in a few minutes how they can get the book, but we'll definitely let them know. But once again, the book is Remnants of a Haunted Past. Yes. So you can also, warm yourself up to get one. It's a really, really amazing book. It's good for you to have it on your coffee table, but it's good for you to read it as well and educate yourself about what's in there. I was totally moved when I saw it for the first time, and I couldn't leave the book. I think I was hanging around all night trying to just go through it. Yeah, but it's all good. So tell me the doors and windows of opportunity that this book has opened up for you.
For myself, the book is actually, it speaks for itself. That's one. So its opening of windows for me has been great. What I would really want to see happen with what this book that's come out to do is to create awareness of what we have. Like I was saying earlier, you have to know what you have in order to really appreciate it, protect it, preserve it, promote it, and all of that stuff. So here comes the opportunity for us to really pay some level of attention to these monuments,
Yeah.
you know, it has certain intrinsic values to us as a nation that many people don't have. It can create employment. It can create
Tourism,
opportunities.
Opportunities.
It can solve a lot of the problems that we have here. You know, considering the fact that what's his name, Paris being a tourist destination that doesn't really have much of what is even here.
Yeah.
Okay, and making $80 billion in tourism alone.
Yeah. Just to go and see the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, I believe Ghana is way beyond the return. There's a whole lot more.
Yeah.
It's just that one of the things that I'll speak on is we need to preserve these monuments. That's one. And sanitation is another issue.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to pay attention to that.
Yeah.
I mean, filth is becoming so abhorrent in the country. I mean, plastics, paper, just everywhere. I mean, some level of responsibility has to be taken. It's not everything that has to do with government. I mean, government can only do what they can do, but I think we as a people too need to do something about how we throw things around.
Hang on right there.
Yeah.
I mean, since we started talking about what this book can do for us and the hope that, you know, it would do better for us.
Yeah.
Have you been in touch with the tourism ministry? Do they have the book? Did they also realize that this is something that we can all work on together? Are you in some sort of conversations with them?
That's an interesting question. I don't want to delve into the politics of it. Okay?
You just want to make sure that your book opens their eyes.
Exactly. And I feel like, you know, these monuments have been there all this while.
Yeah. Before the book came out.
Before the book came out.
That's true.
And there are a lot of things that can be done properly to see to these things. Government should play a role in it, but I honestly think it needs to be privatized.
Okay.
There should be some private partnership agreements with the government for people to really
take them and then turn them
and
around.
run with them, because they will have a vested interest.
Right.
You know, they've invested in it.
Right.
And one of the other things that needs to happen is also get the locals involved.
That's true.
Because one of the you leave the locals out and they feel like, hey, you've come to our town and you've taken over and all of that.
Yeah.
There has to be some level of participation in that.
That's true.
You know,
that's true.
One of the things with these forts and castles is that for every fort and castle, you will see a fishing bay. Okay? And fishing bay is okay. But then we have had these fishermen for God knows how long. What has happened?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Apart from them fishing
and littering
they do
and
for
basically
their livelihood.
Exactly. If the boats are there for tourism purposes, great. I think one thing that should be done is we have to help these fishermen get a trolley that could take them deep sea fishing, which the Chinese are doing, which is actually depleting their level of fish that they bring in.
Yeah.
You know, this encompasses so many things.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, cleaning these fishing bays, turning them into marinas, and having cruise ships come.
Right.
You know, we can turn this coast into a pilgrimage coast.
Right.
For all these Black Americans and people in the diaspora all over the world, just come over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and see what we have, reconnect with their ancestral lineage, and also create this place into a tourism destination which has value. This has some level of provenance.
Right.
You know.
What were some of the challenges that you faced when you were trying to get all of this together? Maybe you can list 3 of them.
Just 2 would be enough.
Okay, two is fine. I wouldn't give it.
Yes.
I wouldn't put you through the pain.
Yeah, going to get the permissions to the forts and castles wasn't easy. We made some contacts. We didn't get any feedback. But I was so determined. I wasn't going to let anything stop me from doing this. Because some things you have to do, and later they will be appreciated. So long as you're not doing anything that is bad. Okay. The other ones was the encroachment that was in these forts.
Right.
They had squatters, so you had to pay squatters to leave to take pictures.
Yeah.
All of these things, and
Oh, wow.
for a places like that to be called UNESCO heritage sites, we have to do better.
Yeah.
We
That's
have to
right.
do better.
That's
And
right.
this has nothing to do with politics.
Right.
It's we individuals and the entities that are put in charge of these places.
Right.
We can do better.
Right.
Yeah.
And now that you have put all of these amazing pictures of our forts and castles into a book, are you thinking about a documentary, visuals, that we can watch?
Okay, so that brings me to one thing that we did earlier, not earlier, in the middle of last year. So I directed a documentary on the art of healing, which is based on Kwame Akuto, the artist and sculptor, and also an activist, with my Canadian co-production company who are here now. We have the idea of doing a documentary that is like the Game of Thrones.
Oh,
Yeah, which will
nice.
start from the north to the south. Thinking of the journey as the idea
Right.
for that.
Wow.
I think we have so many stories in these
Oh, yeah.
forts and
So many
castles
stories that can be
that,
told. Yeah.
if it's
You're right.
done well and the production is right, I
Yeah.
think we can reach the world.
Right.
So,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, it sounds like a good thing. And I also found out that some school had a Yaw Pare gallery out there too. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? I just found out.
Yeah, so that's they felt like it was something good to honor people when they are alive than dead.
Right.
So
No, that's a good thing.
yeah. So they came up and told me, hey, what do you think of a Yaw Pare gallery
Right.
at Martin Porres,
Yeah.
which will be happening on the 25th of this month.
Wow,
So,
that's in another couple of days. It's Friday.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow. So
yeah.
they're gonna set up the Yaw Pare library.
Yes.
A space
A
in
space
their
for the
library
gallery, yeah.
where you have your pictures showing
Yes, and the
geography.
books.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for for people to learn more
Yes.
about
Yes.
our country, Ghana. That is so cool. I wish that I went to primary school with you. Then you will have it in my school. But maybe yes.
So
other
all
schools,
of them are invited, by the way.
Oh,
All
yes.
Mad Pops, you're
Yes,
invited to
yes,
be there.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing, and I'm sure that the children will also learn from it, and I'm sure that other school children too can also go out there and also get the
Exactly.
chance to educate themselves about the different parts of the country with all your pictures in there.
And I believe this book should be in almost every institution.
Yeah, I
in
think every
Ghana.
institution have
Yeah.
one, and every home should
Yeah.
have one.
Every Ghanaian institution should have it.
Yeah, there's so much in there that we can learn. So tell us also about some of the reviews that you got about the book. Let's talk about that.
Wow, that has been amazing and overwhelming. I had the opportunity to present it to some key people in the country. The Ochihini, Osajifo, Amoitia
Furipini.
Foripani, the Otumfo,
Oh, that's
Nana
nice.
Tutu,
That's
and the
beautiful.
president, the current president, Nana Addo Dankwa, and also the former president, President John Mahama.
Nice.
And a few other people,
Right.
which, all of them
And
had-
some ambassadors as well. 'Cause I
and
saw
some
pictures
ambassadors. The
too. We have-
Netherlands ambassador, whom they had a major role.
Yeah,
in
the
these-
Danish
and
ambassador,
the
'cause
Danish
they was a
ambassador
Danish
too. So,
castle
so it was quite very receptive, and every one of them said this is a must-have book.
How does all of this make you feel?
In one way, I'm overjoyed,
Yes.
overwhelmed,
Yeah.
and it's just amazing.
Yeah.
That if you had a dream and you don't give up on it, anything is possible.
Right.
Anything is possible.
Right.
And
So those who are itching,
yeah,
where do they get the book?
they can get it on yawpareimages.com. Okay, and they just go there and they make a payment, and it'll be
and then-
delivered.
right,
from
and it'll
them
be
to them.
delivered. Oh, wow.
From that to them.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Anyway, so we are in the chat box with Yaw Pare, celebrated Ghanaian photographer who's out with a new book, Remnants of a Haunted Past. You can go to yawpareimages.com so you can order your copy. We'll take a quick breather and then come right back and finish with you. How about that? Yeah, breathe in, breathe out, enjoy. Alrighty, folks. That's what we do in our chat box. We have a friendly conversation. We learn about new things. And now we know that we can get a brand new Yaw Pare images.com. That's where we need to go to get a brand new Remnants of a Haunted Past to educate ourselves in pictures and, of course, in script. So some of these forts and castles that we have forgotten about. Actually, the book illustrates the history and the legacies of Ghanaian forts and castles through photography. So there's a lot about the horrors of transatlantic slave trade, etc. So these photographs provide compelling material and visual testimonies, offering possibilities for understanding a lot of things that happened during the slave trade era. A quick one here. Who rules England in the Carabao Cup final this Sunday? Will it be the Blues of Chelsea or the Reds of Liverpool? Watch the match live 4:30 p.m. on Super Sports, DSTV channel 225 to enjoy the frills and the thrills of the Carabao Cup final. Only the men will be left standing. It's on Sunday, 27th of February on DSTV, so stay connected with 52 Ghana CDs to see who lifts the trophy. DSTV, feel every moment. The UPSA Law School and Absa Bank is pleased to invite you to the 7th Absa UPSA Law School Quarterly Banking Roundtable under the theme Digital Currencies, Regulated Banking and the Future of Money. The event will bring together banking experts, legal practitioners, and the sector regulator to take a critical look at cryptocurrencies and other digital currencies, their dynamics, regulatory policies, and approaches to dealing with them. The discussion is structured to reflect on the role and regulatory dynamics of digital currencies within the milieu of conventional money and the actual or potential impact that digital currencies will exert on money. Also on the role of central banks in this respect. The Absa UPSA Law School Quarterly Bank Roundtable comes off tomorrow, Wednesday, the 23rd of February 2022 at 3 p.m. on Zoom. The webinar ID is 852-1993 6589. It's 852-1993 6589, and the passcode is 273939. Please visit the UPSA Law School Facebook page and get more details. Certain antidepressants and medications for asthma or blood pressure. Caffeine, nicotine, and alcohol. Now, drinking them in the afternoon or evening can help you. They can keep you from falling asleep at night. So you also better beware about those. Proudly brought to you by Awake Purified Drinking Water, One for Life, and Kel Kids Toothpaste. All right back to finish off with Yaw Pare in our chat box this morning. So anyways, you've launched your camera is still working, you're still taking some amazing photos. What's the next project you're pretty much looking forward to working on?
Okay, so there are a few projects that are already booked and in line to be worked on.
Mm-hmm.
And one is the next book, which will be Ghana at Heart, basically showcasing all the regions in Ghana, its people, their food, utensils, fabric, all of that.
Nice.
Giving us, a sense of pride for each region.
Right.
Yes.
Ghana at Heart. We ought to look forward to that. Yes. I'm sure it's work in progress. And since we started talking, I'm sure a lot of people too are thinking, wow, see what a photographer came up with. You decided to brighten the corner where you are. I'm sure there are other young people who just love the camera and, will also want to do something that you are doing. Maybe you want to throw out some advice to them just to inspire them a little bit, because a lot of people also need a lot of that inspiration to say, you can also do it. I've just done a fraction of it.
Yes. I see in the photography space as a multi-billion-dollar industry. And in Ghana, could be multi-billion CD industry. There's so much opportunities there. What the little advice I would give to anybody who wants to be successful in this is to work not only hard, but smart as well. You have to add a bit of a business agenda to what you're doing. It's not just taking pictures to just get likes.
Right.
I think I wouldn't even say compare
have
myself
time.
to being one of the best photographers in town.
Yeah.
But it's probably the work ethic and the delivery.
Right.
You know, that counts a lot.
Yeah.
You know, people like to see their work. Okay, you do a work for them, you tell them next week, and next week they get it.
Yeah, deliver on time.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's probably kept me in the business
Right.
as much. My advice to the young ones is be hardworking, but at the same time, add a business to it. Why are you doing what you're doing?
Right.
In the next 10 years, could you do the same thing always and survive?
Right.
And would you be in good health and all of that stuff?
Yeah.
You have to do it whereas it's created a residual income for you. Okay, whereas I don't have to take photographs to make money.
Right.
You know,
Right.
that is where you become a business photographer.
Right.
You know,
Right. It makes sense.
which a lot of people don't pay attention to
Yeah.
and think that it's always going to be time. So
Yeah.
add the business aspect to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes sense. It makes sense. And maybe
Yeah.
a little message to our listeners who probably enjoyed listening to how you put the remnants of a haunted past together, you know, and enjoyed your pictures online. Any message for them before we go?
Well, I would say a big thank you for all the support I've been getting. I think my Facebook fans and Instagram fans are the best in the
Yeah.
whole wide world. Anytime
No, but they're
there's-
being honest with you because that those pictures you put out there, even look at the one we have in the studio. This is a picture you sent to me via phone, but look at how sharp it is, you know, so.
Yeah. So, I mean, a shout out to my crew. I couldn't really have done this by myself. Michael Labi, Paul Ado, Ifya Champong, Ivy Amponsa, and I mean, some of the people who guided me to Lightville, you know, Apag, and my dear friend Bobby, who passed away.
Oh.
So, yeah, a big thank you to every one of them.
Oh, sorry about that. But anyway, it's been a pleasure having you on here
Thank
this
you so
morning.
much.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we finally had to have this conversation.
Thank you.
And we
Thank
still
you.
have unfinished business. We have
Definitely.
we have a project that we are working on. So we'll definitely make sure that we do that too at some
Thank you.
point. Yeah?
Thank you. Thank you
Oh,
so
God
much.
bless you, Yaw. Keep
right.
doing what you do.
Thanks.
And thank you for the advice. Thank you for the book. It's to the world, it's something else. So
Thank you.
know that
Thank you.
and you know, keep soaring.
And it's Black History Month. Go get yours.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Yaw Pare.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
joining
much.
us in our chat box this morning. We're heading on to our news coming up shortly in 2 minutes. Folks, I've enjoyed our conversation with Yaw Pare this morning. I hope you did too. Many thanks to my team, Team Cosmo. Thank you for all the support. You guys go ahead and make it a good day. And hope to have you back same time tomorrow. I'm Doreen Nando. Always a pleasure serving you. Have a good one.
Hi, my name is Kwesi.